Hey gang, welcome to Wellness Wednesday with Kathy Stevens. Got my cheaters on today because I noticed last time I was doing a lot of squinting to try to see who's in the room. But let's talk a little bit before we get started. What is my wellness tip today? Well, it's all about preventing and relieving muscle pain and trigger points. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's a trigger point? But if you've ever had a muscle knot, you've likely had a trigger point. A trigger point is basically a spot that is sensitive to pressure in the muscle or the surrounding connective tissue. When muscles get stressed or injured, they often contract and form these knots that can cause pain or tightness or muscle weakness. These trigger points, they restrict the flow of blood and oxygen and nerve signal from the brain to the muscle. And that's where we start having these problems. What do they feel like? Well, sometimes you can actually palpate and feel like a little pea or a hard lump in the muscle belly. Other times you don't feel it. It just is kind of a radiating pain, and when you put pressure on it, then it shouts out at you and it says that's a trigger point. So what we're going to do is talk a little bit first about preventing some of this muscle pain and soreness. And what made me want to focus on this today is the fact that we did have several of you on the website, on the 60 Up members website, mention some pain in the feet or other areas that shows up afterwards, maybe even in the middle of the night. So I thought, let's take a look at what we can do about that for you. Now, what is the cause? First thing is to try to get rid of some of the cause. Repetitive overuse or loading. What do I mean by that? Have you ever been out in the garden and done the same movement over and over again for about an hour as you're digging or planting, and the next day you're like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Or maybe you were carrying your purse or a child for a long period of time on one side. All of these things can cause muscles to get stressed and create some of these stress points or trigger points like we're calling them. Another thing is inactivity. Believe it or not, when you sit too long and you don't move your body, we talked about the 60 and 60, every 60 minutes, move 60 seconds. If you don't move, you can form this same contraction in the muscle, lack of oxygen, and some of these leftover pains or strains. So you got to stay moving. Poor posture. Just the fact that maybe you're letting your head jut continually during the day and these muscles back here are being overstrained and stressed, and they start building up these knots. Think of it as knots like in your hair, and all of a sudden you can't get the comb to go through, right? Also mental stress. Believe it or not, that situation or that person that's the pain in your neck might actually be causing the pain in your neck. Go figure. Sleep disturbances, not getting a good night's sleep, tossing and turning, not having a great pillow, and waking up the next day feeling some of those strains and stresses. And then, of course, just the direct injury or post-surgery or scar tissue, those can build up some of these trigger points. Structural abnormalities, such as having one leg shorter than the other. Now, we can't do a lot about that. We can't do a lot about past surgeries, but we can reduce some of those repetitive movements, those prolonged sitting periods, and we can try to reduce stress in life. Okay? So what's my tip for today is to think about that. And then at the latter part of the class, I'm going to give you some great techniques that you can use to do some self-trigger point release. And we're going to use the famous 60 Up red ball, because it was designed for that, as well as other things that Dan has shown you in the past. So I'm so excited to do this. Now, what we're going to need to get to that part of the class, and as I said, it'll be in the latter half of the class, you're going to need a chair. So you see I've got my chair in the background because I'm going to have you sit and really focus on trigger point release. And we're going to use a 1, 2, 3 punch to get at them. All right, so I hope you're going to be looking forward to that. Let me check in real quick and see who's here. Well, we got Dean and Louise and Betsy. Hi, guys. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm sure there's others that I can't quite read because I'm on my cell phone, so I'm going to have to scroll, and I don't want to lose you. But we're going to go ahead and get started, and my point today, again, is let's use some touch therapy. We're going to do some touch therapy on the ball. We're going to talk about touching when we're on the actual board and distributing your weight by changing position. Step touch is going to be the first move we'll warm up with. And let's just let's have some fun on the board and then work on those trigger points together. All right, enough of the readers. I'm ready for you. Are you ready for me? I've got some music today, and hopefully you like it. We will be stopping for water breaks, so as always, make sure you've got your water nearby. You might also want to have a towel in case you get a little sweaty. And, of course, your board, your ball, because we're going to do big red ball focus today, and a chair, a sturdy chair nearby. And that should do it. So let's see. I hope we're ready to go. Oh, I'm squinting again. That's why I had my readers on earlier. But let's just get moving. That's the first thought of the day. Let's move. All right. Oh, where's my volume? Technical difficulty number 1. Where'd it go? Huh. Sorry, gang. Little pause here to get the music going. I see what's happening. Need a little volume. All right, there we go. Let's have some fun. Come on behind the board. Put your hands up on those grippers, and let's just lightly bend the knees. Hopefully that's not too loud. I'm going to turn it down just a tad. All right, bend the knees, chin up, chest high. Think about your posture. Head over shoulders, shoulders over hips, knees in the direction of the toes. Feel that beat, and let's just roll those shoulders back and down. Now, please, if it does get a little too loud, somebody out there just text me and let me know. Hey, Dan, maybe you'll let me know. I know you like my music, so let's see if we can get your jam on today. Here we go. Chin up, chest up. All right, let's use a little touch, step touch, this way, step touch. Now place your hands on your handles and just get a feel for the rhythm and the movement. I once took a Zumba workshop and they teased that this is the one and favorite movement of every guy on the dance floor, step touch. So we'll see if we can take you past the step touch. Keep it going. Notice how when you rock side to side, you redistribute your weight, takes a little balance, takes a little knee strength, leg strength to the side you're stepping towards. Strength and balance. All right, from here, let's take and rock with one hand on that pole, gripper, and I don't know if you can see my feet, but I'm still rocking with a tap, but I'm tapping my toe and tapping my heel. We've had a lot of messages about ankle mobility and the need to be able to lift the toe and lift the heel. So let's warm up for that. Good job. Come on now, have a little fun with it. Let's get that oxygen flowing. Let's get that blood moving. Joints limbered. Muscles ready. 4 more. 3. You can snap. 2. All right, now hold right here and roll the back leg up and down. So I'm holding on so I'm steady. I can use my other arm and keep warming up the upper body by just reaching forward and back. Look at my back heel. It comes up and down, up and down. Stretching out that calf muscle. 4 more. 3 more. Last 2. What are we going to do? We hold the stretch right there. Hold it. Little runner's lunge. That's it. Get steady. Feel good. Keep that head in line with the rest of the spine. No chin jutting. Ooh, back to the center. Step, touch. Good job. Now a good warm-up should leave you feeling ready to go, not tired. You should feel like all those joints and muscles are kicking in, getting a blood flow, maybe a little lift in your cardiorespiratory response. A little heavier breathing, but not real heavy, just a light lift. All right, same thing. We're going to go this way, though. We're going to rock forward and back. Touch the toe, touch the heel. Hang on to that pole, especially if you need it. Other arm can flow up and back. That's it. Come on, have a little fun with it. Oh yeah, you're on the dance floor. All right, you ready? Face forward again. Tap it out to the side. Toe out, hands on poles. Feel a little stretch to the inner thigh. Nice. You got it. All right, now we're going to bend the knees and lunge softly. Lunge. Take your time now. Feel a little more stretching going on. Good work. Now we're going to hold it to this side. Turn again, and let's do that same calf roll. I bet you thought I forgot. I almost did. Pull it in and out. Now this is also a good time to make note and make sure your toes are in the direction of your knees. We always want to maintain that nice alignment with the feet, knees, and hips. Good job. 2 more. Last one. All right, now bring it back to the center. Tap it out again. Maybe reach out a little further with that foot if you're comfortable doing so. Yes. Nice thing we have these poles here. That makes you feel safe, maybe reaching further than you might if they weren't there. 2 more. Last set. All right, now walk it in. Here we go. In, in, in. Just march in place. Push down with your palms on those handles and start to contract and pull the scapula down a little bit behind you. All right, now lift it up, down. This is called scapular elevation and depression. I don't really like that word or that name, depression, but that's what it's called. You're depressing the shoulder blade down. Super important to get rid of some trigger points in the neck. We'll talk about that later. 4 more times. 4, shrug and push. Put a little more emphasis on the downward phase. All right, here comes our taps up. Tap on the board, 1 foot at a time. Now, for those of you that are brand new, please feel free to always take the easier version of whatever modification that I give you. I'm going to always try to do things in several levels. Beginning, intermediate, maybe a little advanced. Toe tap, look down and see where the 1 is. I know you can't see it too good, but it is right inside that center hole. I want you to close your eyes and tap and make sure when you open them that you hit the right spot. We need to figure out and get a good mind-to-eye connection to where our foot is falling on the board. Now find the 2. Outside the hole. Outside the hole. Keep going. Outside the hole. Very nice. You got it. Tap. I'm just checking to see if anybody left me a message. Here we go. 2. You want to try that again? Either close your eyes or look up and then quickly look down and see if you hit the 2. And if your brain put it in there in its memory bank where it's at. That's called proprioception. Knowing where you are in space. Brain to body. Now 3. Again, look down and see where it's at. Keep your body as stable as you can in the center. Look up or close your eyes. Might be a little early for closing the eyes, right? 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And let's do a little heel dropping. Just bounce the heels. Tighten up, zip up, zip up, zip up. Pelvic floor tight. Chin and chest high. Ooh, feel that just kind of reverberate up your body through your bones. Can you feel the beat in your bones? We're beating the bones. That's how you get them a little stronger, preventing bone loss. All right, now heel press 1 and 1. Here we go. Heel, down, heel, down. Wiggle your fingers for me, because every once in a while we overgrip. And when you overgrip, you get a little lift in your blood pressure, so we want to keep it loose. Nice. Couple more. Now go to the 2. Do you have to look down, or do you kind of already know where it's at. Heel is tapping, and that's real important because you want to make sure that those ankles have that mobility for the toe lifting. Nice. So important in fall prevention. Now to the threes. Why? Think about it. Have you ever tripped? Well, if you think about it, usually what happens is you catch your toe on something like a carpet or maybe a crack in the cement, and that's because the toe didn't lift up properly. Back to twos. So we really want to work on that, and I know some of you have some issues that are preventing good mobility at the ankle. We'll see if we can use some of our trigger point therapy to help you out later. To the ones. All right, couple more. Last two. All right, put the feet together. Give me some more heel drops. Every time we go into heel drops, I want you to imagine somebody took a big zipper and zipped up and lifted and tightened up through your core. Pelvic floor through core. Nice. All right. Whew. This time, let's march it out. Right, left. Here we go. All right. Remember I told you it's about loosening, limbering, but also elevating that heart rate a bit for our warm-up to be efficient and ready us for the rest of the workout. So here we go, march. And you can slow this down or just barely lift your feet. So remember, it's up to you. You can even just be lifting your heels if that feels more appropriate for you at your level of fitness right now. But then as we get a little more fit, we lift those knees a little higher. Chin up, chest up. Keep the chin back. Don't let it jut forward. Pull it back. All right. Now we're going to start with our lunges up. Ready, right. Lunge on the red and back. All right. So here's where we first start connecting more to the pressure of our body as it translates into the board and off the board. So pressure on, pressure off. Feel how your muscles and mind are working together to kind of catch you and not let you fall through those poles. You always want to stay behind them. And then power you back to 2 feet. 1 foot, 2 feet. Here we go. 1 foot, 2 feet. 1 foot, 2 feet. Right in the center for now. I just want you to feel the ankle and the knee gripping and helping slow or decelerate you, and then assisting in propelling you back. Of course, the harder you do this, the more your heart rate goes up. By harder, I mean deeper and with more force. So take it at the pace you're okay with, okay? All right, heel drops again, right here. Zip it up. Nice. Shoulders back and down. Good work. Loosen up. Every once in a while, add a little shoulder roll or something just to keep from creating tension. Remember what I said about those trigger points? If you hold tension in an area too long, it restricts that blood flow and that oxygen to that area, which causes pain. All right? Heels are dropping. Now, we're going to go ahead and start with a basic step. Up, 2, back, 2. So, up, 2, right alongside the red center line. Here we go. We're marching or we're walking up our stairs, and we feel they're a little shaky, so we have to grip and keep that posture up. Now, if you need to look down, glance down, but then try to get that head back up, because we also know that when the head goes down, the rest of the posture tends to follow, and we start rounding our upper back and shoulders in that kind of kyphotic or hunchback position. And there we have another point of where trigger points come from. That posture can be brutal to the muscles between the scapula or the shoulder blades. Ever feel a lot of pain back there? Some of it is because of posture. So get those shoulders back and down. Nice. 2 more like this. 1 more like this. Beautiful. Now, tap the foot right here. Hold your left foot. That's called the tap. Remember I said we're going to do a lot of tapping, touching. We're going to lead now with the opposite leg. Here we go. Left, right. Now, I figured out last time when I watched my playback that the phone puts me in mirror image, meaning when I say right, or left, it's my true right or left, where when I do another platform, it's the opposite. So I may have miscued last time, thinking I had to. But this time, hopefully, we're all on the right, or the left, or the right, left. Here we go. 4 more. That was not easy to understand, was it? 3. But what did I do? I took your focus off your feet for a second. Hopefully, you still kept coordination going, even though you were listening to my story of right-leftness. 4 more. So that's called a mental distraction, because life isn't always silent when we're moving. Good job. 1 more time. Beautiful. All right, heel drops again. Wiggle those fingers and drop those heels. Dan likes to say, play the piano. Good job. All right, now, we're going to start with the right again, but we're going to do what I call a tap up. Remember step tap? We're going to tap up. So watch me once if you like, because it does involve some coordination. Here we go. Step, tap, step, down. Other leg, tap. So it's going to alternate naturally because I'm tapping instead of stepping on that second move. So this is called a step, tap on the up. Step, tap. Again, feel how your body has to work a little harder to stabilize when you're not bearing the weight equally on both feet. Up, tap. Oh yeah. This make you want to say, woo. Again, step, tap, step, down. Let your brain get the pattern. The first few might be a little wobbly, but what we're going for is what I call flow. It's when everything starts to make sense and you don't have to think so hard. And that's when another challenge might be coming. So if you want to challenge this, we're going to offset it on an angle. You don't have to, but I'm stepping on the diagonal, crossing my midline. Oh yes, that's always a little more challenging for the brain, but also stimulating for the brain. It's important when you're doing this that you pivot the full foot, the full knee, the hips, the whole body, so that you're in good alignment in that lower body. Tap. I'm still tapping on the up. Step, tap. And we've done enough of these where you might be feeling a little cardio lift because we are out of the warm-up by now. Step, tap, step, down. Good job. Step, tap. Having fun yet? 4 more. Step, tap. 3 more. Notice I'm grounding my board out. It doesn't go that far. You're never going to fall off because it only has a few inches of give, and then there's a nice safety stop on it. I don't know if I lost count. Did I? Let's do 1 more after this. It's a step, tap. All right, then clear the channels. Drop those heels. Loosen those shoulders. Wiggle those fingers. How we doing? All right. Here comes a new brain challenge. Instead of tapping on the up, we're going to tap on the down. Watch me again 1 time before you try this. I'm going to start with my right. Here I go. Ready? So I step, 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 and tap. Step, 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 tap on the ground. Up, 2, step. Now what I love about this alternating tap pattern is I get a little stretch in my hip as I tap back, which is good because so many of our movements lift and contract the hip flexor and can be considered repetitive overstress to that muscle. And what did we talk about? Repetitive moves can cause muscle strain, pain, and delay onset soreness or trigger points. So the way to reduce that is if you do something to the front a lot, like those knee lifts or those tap-ups, then also do something to the back to counterbalance the movement. Step, up. Now, I'm on that center or 1-1 on each side. If you're comfortable with this, stick with it. It's keeping your heart rate up, so you're getting some cardio here. And if you want to add a little variation, you can turn. So you step, 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 and tap. Now I'm still being very careful as I turn to make sure that my knees, toes, hips have a chance to keep in line. Keep in line. And because I'm turning, my step is a little wider, like a V step. Up, up, down, tap, floor. Up. I hope you got this. It does take a little bit of coordination, but once it smooths out, it feels really good, especially if you can keep on the beat. Here we go. Up, up, down, down, up, up, and back stretch. 4 more. Wiggle your fingers. 3. Last 2. Here we go. 1 more time. All right. Bring it back. Walk to the center. Nice. I've got 1 more floor move in here, and then we're going to come on up to the top of the board. Before we do that, I'm going to invite you to get some water because it's so important to stay hydrated. Watch this one. Tap, down, tap, down, tap. What am I going to work on next? Well, 2 things. A little agility or quickness and a little pump if you want the heart rate up higher. This is level 1, and you can stay here, or you can step and shuffle. Step, shuffle, tap, shuffle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that little shuffle move is so functional. Why? Because sometimes when you lose your step or your balance, your feet have to make this little quick movement to catch up your feet to the upper part of your body that might be going forward. So it helps you what we call right yourself. That's a good right. Now I'm crossing the midline and shuffling with a little turn just because today we were doing a little advancement by adding change of direction. But it's optional, right? And at any time you get a little tired, just go into the heel drops, soft heel bounces on the floor. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and last one. Okay, guys, tap out to the side. Woo! I don't know about you, but I was building up a sweat on that one. Okay, let's go ahead and get some water real quick. Everybody join me. Nice work, everyone. Let's see. All right. Good to see a few extra people here. Priscilla and Judy and Joe. Yes. Glad you're watching. Hope you're enjoying it. You know, if you can't have fun, chances that you'll come back might be a little less than likely. So whatever you do, keep it in the fun zone. All right? Here we go. All right. Now we're going to come up onto the top of the board, 1 foot, then the other, right at about the 1-1, which is on either side of that red line, and just rock out a little bit. Enjoy. Pressure and feel it where it goes. To the toes. Heels are coming up, toes are pushing down a little more aggressively. Excellent. Chin and chest high. Awesome. Now that you've got your boat feet on, let's try to find center. Ooh, all aboard, on deck, hanging out here. I know some people are mentioning some things, but from back here, can't read them, but I'll catch it later. Bend the knees a little, soften it. Now we're going to step out right, left, in. So we're going to go out to about 2 and back into 1. Now just feel it. You know, imagine that you're, I don't know, on something soft. Maybe you're crushing grapes. Not that anybody's done that, right? Maybe. And you just want to feel your balance as you smush to the right, smush to the left, and then come back to the center. Feel how it changes through your knee, hip, and ankle. Pressure, pressure. Together, taller, pressure. Now, if you're comfortable, go a little wider. If you can get all the way to 3 and then bring it to 2. Now, some of us, the reason I say if you can get out there is because some people might have a little shorter limb length, and 3 just feels way too far for their comfort zone. Comfort zone. Good. Out, 2. Now stay 2, 2, and let's rock it out. Here's where we have a little fun. Just rock it out and have some fun. Loosen up, wiggle your fingers, think about your posture. Boom, boom, shake your booty. That's it. Keep going. Take a breath. Think about how you're feeling. Think about your feet for a second. Pinky toe, big toe. Push off each side of the edge. Nice. All right, now we're going to take that alternating ladder all the way out and all the way in this time. We're at the 2 point. So we'll go 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2. Again, 3, 3. Your best 3. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. We're laddering out and in. Rungs of the ladder, 1 to 3. Feel how that changes what you're feeling through the hip, the knee, and the core. All right, stay 3 and 3, or your best 3 and 3. Look down, and let's go low and fast. So bend the knees and push, push, push. Nice, nice. You got it. Come on. Chest up. Oh, yeah. In 4. In 3. Inner thighs are gripping, aren't they? All right. Let's walk it in. Toes and heels. Dan did this the other day. That's why I love to watch Dan. He's always giving me great ideas. Ready? Toes and heels. Here we go. Toes, heels. Toes, heels. Toes out. Heels out. Toes out. Look down. Heels. Toes. Heels. Toes. Toes. Heels. Toes. Heels. Again. Heels. Toes. Heels. Toes. And you can keep this really small or in place if you like. Oh boy, where's my center? I lost it. Did you? All right, now keep it in the middle on 1 and 1. One leg. Here we go. 1 to 2. 1 to 3. Laddering one leg only. So I'm going to keep my weight on my right leg the whole time. I'm going to do a little squat lift with my foot moving out to the outer edge, back to the middle, and to the center. Out. Let that board just react to you. Don't think so hard about it. Just think about feeling the pressure points from the foot, the toes, the knees, and the hips. All right, let's settle it out. Now balance. Find your center. Whew. Wiggle your fingers. Nice, nice. All right, get that other foot ready. Left stays stationary, right's going to move. Ladder out and in. Here we go. Up, up, up. And it's okay to look down. You balance, you place. You balance, you place. And yes, that board is going to bottom out as you place it. And your knees are going to bend. Your hips are soft or bent as well. Just a little. Good job. Up. Place it. Up. I'm laddering from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 2, and 2 to 1. Again. Up, out, up, out. All right, last one. Hold in the center. And let's just shift it. Relax it. Have fun with it. Think about closing your eyes now. Whoa, open them up when you need to. But feel the shift through the feet, the hips, the knees, but not the core. Notice how tight and still your spine is. Nice. Barely touch those handles. Wiggle your fingers. I love it. All right, step off. Good job. Water up. We're ready to try a new position. And continue focusing on balance and leg strength. From here, we're going to turn to one side. Let's start to the right, okay? Stand right level with the center and put one foot on that center, okay? Put some pressure on it and then tap down. Go to the 2 and tap down. 3 and just kind of scoot that back leg with it. So now go backwards and scoot. This is a really good way. We're not going to go past middle line. So forward, like you're going down heel. Good. And then backward, you're pushing yourself back out of the heel. Again, pressure, scooch, pressure, scooch. Take that back leg and lift it and scooch it either forward. It's a little snail walk. Yeah? And back. Feel that inside leg really working. Good. You got it. Now stay in the center. Now we're going to drop and lift. So we're just going to squat up. And all I want you to do is extend the knee and hip until that leg that's on the floor straightens and maybe comes off the ground by about an inch. This is such a great exercise for hip and thigh strength. The one leg drop lift. Good. And again, if it's too hard, keep that other foot on the ground and simply lift up to your toe and don't lift the foot off the ground. Is it getting tired? That's called volitional fatigue. Boom. All right, shake it off. Shake it off. Good job, everybody. Whew, turn it around. All right, what we do on the right, we got to do to the left. Here we go. Foot up with a creep, forward, creep, and creep. Nice. That's it. Front, down heel, and up or backwards. Now, we don't go backwards too much in normal life. So you got to be careful when you step back to keep your head over your hips and not lead with your torso like this. Because remember what I said about where the head goes, the rest of the body loves to follow? So keep the head up over the shoulders the whole time. Again, forward, forward, and back, and back. Good. Put your push, your press, push, whatever. Foot to that board. Here we go again. Heel to toe press. Heel to toe press. A little harder on the back because of the incline. Again, heel to toe, heel to toe. Now we're going to hold this one in the center. Stay right here and do our lift, drop, lift, drop. One leg strengthener. Now again on this one, remember gang, I'm giving you the option of keeping your toe on the floor if you don't want to. I'll lift the foot all the way up. Good job. Keep going. Excellent. Down. I know. Where did she go? Where did she go? I'm just adjusting. I felt like my music might be getting too loud. Down and up. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Okay, shake it out. You know this leg has got to be tired. And that's the goal of strengthening, is to just say, it's tired. Shouldn't be painful, just tired. Fatigued. Good, you got it. All right, bring it back in and just walk it out for a second. Ease it out, shrug those shoulders out. Nice work, everybody. All right, come back up onto the top. One more exercise, and then we get to my promise trigger point treatment, or I'll call them trigger point treats. Getting close to trick or treat, so no tricks, just treats. All right, stand with your feet about 1 and 1, and then let's just sit back into our chair squat. So you imagine there's a little chair behind you, and then you got to muscle up. You might feel that board want to bottom out. Try to force it to stay as centered as possible. Again, sit and lift. Now come down a little further with your hands so that you really feel like your hands are resting like on the arm of your chair, and push up. Notice how your arms can kind of contribute as you pull or push your body, but lead with the hips. The hip structure goes back, and then the hip structure comes forward. Imagine in your mind's eye that you're sitting down and helping yourself up, because if it's not your problem, it's always still good to strengthen these muscles. But for many elderly adults, getting out of a chair or up off the ground are number one problems that they'd like to get better at doing without the problem. 4 more. And up. again, and 3, and up. Now, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but my father's 96. My mother's 90. I'm so blessed. And I will say, my dad, who's very athletic his whole life, he was a gymnast, always so able and capable. But at 96, where I notice his biggest weakness is in this movement, getting out of a chair and then feeling stable to move around. He does it. It just takes him a while. So don't give up. Keep those muscles strong for the functional things we need to do and then the fun things we want to do. All right, back to center. Heel drops up here. Oh, yes. That felt good. All right. Now, another request was a little more calf work. So we're going to do that here. We're going to lift up with our heels and then rock back with our toes. Now, again, I understand totally that this motion might be very minute on some of you because you just don't have that nerve connection to the muscles of the calves. And so the strength is reduced, and then you might have some lack of range of motion, and so the toe lift is reduced. So you really need to just do what you can, rocking up and back, toes, and then onto your heels. And even if it's only 1/4 of an inch, that's okay. Stick with me. Maybe it's not even 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Maybe it's just your weight going onto your toes and then your weight going back into the heels, and you're not even lifting. That's okay. Start with what you've got, and if you can get all the way up and all the way back, that's our goal. 4 more. Good job. 3 more. Nice deep breath. Is your chest up, your head centered? I hope so. Abdominals engaged, pulled in slightly. That's it. Last one. All right. Woo, step on down. Shake off those feet. It's time for the red ball. So here's what we need. I'm going to give you a second to set up. Get some water if you need to. Get your chair. Place it behind your board and then flip your board around so that the ball is facing you. Now I want you to love this. I want you to feel good about what we're going to do here. So we are going to sit down so we can focus and feel the pressure points and really work on trigger points throughout different parts of the body where they're common. So you're going to I'm even going to invite you to take your shoes off if you don't mind, because we feel so much more with our socks, or just our socks on or bare feet. So let's take our shoes off. Let's sit up nice and tall. All right. I'm going to turn this music down because I really want you focused on the techniques, okay? So we'll just keep it very light in the background. You probably won't hear it at all. All right, so here we go. Whew, we made it to the treatment treat. So what I want you to start with is the feet, because as I said, I have had a few mentions of foot issues and foot pain. So let's just put one foot up on it, start at the heel, and just roll the heel. And I want you to be rolling like you're stirring it, like your toe. Now, if you don't need to hold the poles and you want to hold your chair, that's fine too. But if you can hold the poles, if you're close enough, it'll keep the board from rocking too much. You might want to scoot out on the edge of your chair a little bit. Are you still smashing with the heel of the foot, feeling the outer, the inner, and now move up to the arch. Roll in and out with the arch, like you're trying to create a cup and then empty the cup. And if you happen to feel one of those trigger points, that's where you go, ooh, right when I get there, it hurts. Then hold it there for a second and push down on it. Okay? Let's all push down somewhere. Just push and hold for about 10 to 30 seconds. 10 for today because we got a lot to get to and I've got 15 minutes. Release it and now move the foot back so the ball of the foot and the toes are on the ball. And same thing, I want you to roll to the big toe to the pinky toe. We're still doing the movement this way, supination and pronation, inversion and eversion. Okay, now instead go up and down and push into the tips of your toes like a pointing of a ballerina foot. Point and then spread them. So point it and spread them. These are your toes. Spread them. And your ball is right at the crack between the toes and that ball area of your foot. Nice. Big toe, other toes. Big toe, other toes. Again, head up high Now, if you found a little pressure point, push on it. You can put your elbows in and put a little downward pressure. That sends a message from the nerve input, the nerve impulse to the brain to hopefully release any tightness and maybe even some chemicals that help to reduce pain. So hold it 10 seconds and relax. All right, other foot, here we go. Start at the heel. Remember, stir it up. Feel for the inside of the heel, the outside of the heel. Just massage into that prickly ball. Nice. Think about what you're feeling. Good. If you have some tenderness, it might be related to your Achilles tendon because it attaches in the heel. Feel free to put that pressure down on it. And then move up to the arch of the foot, and we're going to do that Eversion Inversion, which is where you turn the arches up to the ceiling and then push them down. And a lot of people with plantar fasciitis have issues in this area. So we're increasing circulation, oxygen, and hopefully pressuring into that ball to feel a little trigger point release. All right, hold if you need to. Remember, you can put extra pressure down on it by leaning in. If it feels a little like, and I want you to call it it hurts so good, okay? It shouldn't be like, hot plate. It should just give a little extra pain, but hurt so good. Okay, now moving it up to the balls of the feet, in and out again. First, we kind of play off the big toe and the little toe. That's it. Oh boy, doesn't this feel good? Who needs to go to a masseuse? You're your own best masseuse here with 60 up. Now forward and back. Remember, this is where you point the toes, then spread them. Point, spread. Cup the ball like you're gripping it with your toes. Grip it. Nice. Grip it. Stretch it. Beautiful. 4 more. 4. And 3. 2 more. Last one. And shake it out. Ooh, your feet might feel like they've been worked, right? Remember, you can go back to those and hold those pressure points longer, but we're going to move on up. So you might want to pat your ball off in case you had dust or dirt on it. I don't know. And then we're going to start by placing this behind your lumbar spine. Now, when you place it behind your lumbar spine, the lower back arch, you got to scooch up so you feel it between the back of your chair and your body. I'm going to turn my chair to the side so you have a better idea of what I'm doing. You don't need to turn yours to the side. Just watch me. All right, so it's right at my lumbar spine, and of course my pole is in the way. And I sit up nice and tall in neutral alignment, head over shoulders, shoulders over the hips. Now I'm going to utilize my abdominal muscles to compress in and feel pressure against the muscles that line that lumbar spine, and then I'm going to release it. Again, now remember, you've got a pelvic tilt and compress in and try to smash the ball with your spine, and then release. Again, pull in, tighten in, and release. Can you see how I'm pushing back and I'm losing that low back arch as I compress and I create that pressure point? So a lot of times a way to get rid of tension is 2 ways. You can contract a muscle and then release it, or you can create pressure down into the muscle, which is what we're doing right now, as we push our muscles into the ball using the muscles of our abdominal wall. Couple more. Exhale as you do this. Good. And then last one. So this is also a great abdominal exercise, believe it or not, as well as a back releaser. Breathe fluidly. Relax. Okay, now just kind of rock and roll a little bit and just feel a little twisting and a little massaging as you push back. So you kind of roll that ball against the muscles that line your vertebra of your spine. As you look behind your right and your left side, that should feel like a nice massage. Good. Couple more. And then we're going to move up the back, okay? So push your ball up. Hopefully your chair back is high enough where you can position the ball right there between your shoulder blades, okay? Now from here, you want to feel, just massage a little bit, rock around, feel that. There's a lot of trigger points here, a lot of little knots. So just kind of go side to side, massaging against the ball, just right and left. Nice. And now come to the center. Bring your arms to the goalpost position on both sides and push up with the arms and down. And as you push up with the arms, I want you to kind of push your upper back into the ball. Push into it, release. So I'm extending my spine, which is contracting those muscles. And I'm also trying to increase or improve that range of motion through the shoulder girdle. Here we go. Lift up, climb the wall, then bring it back down and breathe fluidly. Good. Keep going. Keep the chin parallel to the floor, meaning don't look up or don't tuck down. All right, now keep it in the center. Find the middle point and then squeeze, release. And all I want you to do is imagine you could pinch the ball between the shoulder blades, contracting those muscles that get so tight. Because we know when we contract a muscle, right afterwards, its response is to release a little better. So we're going to hold the contraction now. Hold and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Isometric hold, dynamic tension. 2 more inhales and exhale. 1 more inhale and exhale. Now interlace the fingers and push away and stretch and tuck your chin down. Good job. Put the hands on the thighs. Tuck the chin to the chest. Release that very area that you were just contracting. That's the second technique. So pressure is one technique to get rid of trigger points. Another is contract the muscle and then release and stretch. 2 great techniques. All right. Now from here, we're going to sit back up again. And we're going to let that ball drop. Come back. I'm going to come back to the front. You're already in the front position. Take that ball. And while we're sitting here, let's just go ahead and hold it between your hands and kind of massage it over that fleshy part outside the thumb. And just roll it around and see how you can even manipulate and use the ball to find some pressure points in your hand or down your fingers as you spread them. Just roll it like a rolling pin. All right, good job. You might, I feel it there. I'm going to hold it. And then release it. Other side, same thing. So again, if you find those little points where it's a kind of more of a hurt so good than it is just a nice massaging roll, hold it for 10 to 30 seconds with that added little bit of pressure that you can stand because you don't want it to be so painful that you don't like what you're doing. All right? We're getting there. All right. Ooh, right there on me again. Hold it. Shake out. And then release the hands. Okay, last one's going to seem a little funny. I'm going to put the ball, the red ball, up on my shoulder on my right side. And then I'm just going to contract my neck muscles by pushing my ear into the shoulder and my shoulder into the ball and hold it for 3 to 5 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale. This is not a comfortable pillow, I'll tell you that. Inhale and exhale again. All right, now directly afterwards, with a little pressure, not a lot, drop the shoulder. You can even pull down on your chair a little bit and lean away. And a gentle stretch in those areas that we just contracted. Tucking your chin down a little bit for a second because a lot of these trigger points kind of wrap themselves around the back of the neck area here. And you can even do a little self-massage in that muscle belly if you want to. Good job. All right, bring that head back up and let's do the other side. Balance it on your shoulder. Pull your shoulders back and down. Rest your head on the pillow and push into the red ball, contracting and lifting. So this shoulder comes up and this ear goes down. Good. Hold it for a couple deep breaths, 3 to 5 deep breaths. That's usually just about 20 to 30 seconds. So that's a good stretching or contracting time. And then bring it back to the center. Now, bring the head over with gentle pressure. Hold the bottom of your chair with the other arm and give me a gentle stretch. Not too much pressure. Just kind of let the head drop. You don't even have to use this arm if you don't want to. You can actually use it to massage the neck if you want. Let the chin come down. Beautiful. Nice deep breaths. Feel for the stretch. Feel for the knots. Feel for the trigger points. And feel good about the fact that you have something you can do to reduce or take care of them. And then bring it back up to the center. Roll the shoulders back down and around. Let the head swing down and to the side. Inhale and exhale. Relax and loosen up. And then bring the head to the center, round back a little bit, and then push through, just kind of giving ourselves a final roll and hug. Think of hugging your shoulders back and forward. All right, good job sitting up nice and tall. Take a deep breath. Wherever your arms up, they can come up front if the chair's in the way. Exhale down or to the side if you don't have anything to the side. And exhale down again. Fill up those lungs, guys. Oxygenate. Good work today. Last time. Nice deep breath. Let it down. Bring it to the center. And give yourself a big hand. Hopefully that trigger point treatment exercise made you feel your best today. All right. Well, I'm going to come on in a little closer and see what we got. All right. I got to go back to my cheaters. Sorry, guys. Again, I want to thank all of you so much for being here, because it makes me feel so good that I can maybe bring you some new ideas to complement the great ideas Dan always has, and hopefully a little different style. So please, I see Kathy is here and Nancy is watching. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for joining us today. Please feel free after class or any time during the week. I go back and I check the website every day to see if anybody has any questions for me. Can be anything we discussed health related, but also just anything you want to talk about. So feel free to text me on the 60 Up members page, and I'll get back to you. Thanks for joining me. Hope you had a good workout, and we'll see you next week with another wellness tip. Fun day. Thanks, Craig. Glad you liked it. Bye, gang. Have a great week.